Hey besties, welcome back to another episode. So we are in season 2. This is episode 7. We are almost done with all 13 episodes of season 2, and then we're gonna go into season 3. But this episode is gonna kind of hit like a little different. It's gonna be kind of all over the place. Shocker, I know. But you know, it's funny because sometimes we're the last person to notice how much we've changed. We look at ourselves every day, we see every mistake, every insecurity, every bad day, every setback, and because we're living it, we don't always notice the growth. But then somebody says, you're handling things differently, or you seem happier lately, or maybe even you're not the same person you were 6 months ago. And personally, that one's my favorite. And suddenly you realize maybe all those hard days actually meant something. Maybe healing was happening even when you couldn't see it. Today we're talking about growth, confidence, healing, and the people who help us see ourselves when we can't. And, of course, you know I had to bring a guest on with me, because honestly, sometimes our friends see our growth long before we do. For example, I spent so much time waiting to become confident that I completely missed the fact that confidence was already happening. Because confidence isn't waking up one day and magically loving everything about yourself. Confidence is posting the picture anyway, it's speaking anyway, and it's showing up anyway. Just like I talked about last episode, I think is what that was, finding your inner voice. I wanted somebody here who has seen different versions of me, not the podcast version, not the social media version, the real version. The version that cried, the version that doubted herself, the version that didn't know what she was doing, and the version that's sitting here today. Everybody say hi to Lori!
Hey!
She's back for another episode. Super exciting. This one's gonna be a little wild.
This will be a little longer than the first one
yeah.
on season 1.
Yeah.
You said you wanted a longer episode for season 2.
Longer episode, so y'all buckle up, grab your coffee, grab your water, grab your Mountain Dew, grab your Monster, grab whatever you need, man. Grab your support snack, I don't care. Like, buckle up.
We're going to be talking about quite a bit of things.
We are, and at first off, how did we meet?
We met about 2-3 years ago. We like to say 2-3 going on 4. But we met a couple years ago through a mutual friend, actually. I was going through a rough spot in my marriage at the time, and it was headed towards a separation. And so I ended up saying, where you were at, I think you were renting from.
The person who I was renting from, yeah.
Yeah, you were renting from somebody. And so I met you because you were renting from them. And they were a mutual friend, or they were a friend of our mutual friend. Oh my goodness.
Friend of a mutual friend. Friend of a friend to a mutual friend.
Sure. Yeah, that. Anyway,
that makes sense.
It was a whole chain link fence to try to get to meet you. Anyway,
that was placed like kind of sporadic. Like it matched our lives
suddenly.
Like
it was very
perfectly
sudden.
them.
Yeah, no, the whole thing was chaotic. It was very sudden. But I mean, we hit it off pretty quick. Now, I didn't meet you the night I got there.
No,
I met you the next morning. You were already at work that night, and then I was already in bed when you came back from work. So I met you the next day. And as far as, we weren't awake. The first impression was, I wouldn't even say it's a true first impression, because neither of us had coffee in our system.
I don't think our first true impression of each other was until I asked you to go door dashing with me.
Yeah, no, we hadn't even had coffee yet. We were kind of staring at each other like, oh, look, another human. And then as we kind of woke up and kind of started talking, then it was like, oh, hey, what are you doing? And I was like, I have no life. And then you were like, come door dashing with me.
That's not an answer. Let's go.
Yeah, so I ended up door dashing with you, or sitting next to you while you door dashed. And being your GPS person.
Literally, and we were talking. We started talking about going to the gym. I almost said going on trips. We started talking about going to the gym, and it kind of helps that I'm an empath, because you did open up pretty fast. You kind of told me some details that I didn't even think I asked for, but that's fine because I'm an open book. Let's go.
Oh yeah, no, we both talked quite a bit.
We definitely met when I was starting to slip into not finding myself.
Yeah, and I think that's another reason why we clicked, is because I was at that point where if I looked in the mirror, I couldn't tell you who I was. And I could see you starting to go down that path, even at the same time as you were pulling me out of that and going, no, girl, I got you,
Talk to me. Have somebody to lean on. Let me be that person for you.
Oh, yeah.
And that's one thing that I've talked to my family about multiple times, with me being an empath and everything. I can be there for people when I'm drowning, and then like once I hit like a rock or like sink completely, that's when I'm done, and I have to like stay in my room and recharge, and then I'm like, okay, I'm back out of the world, and kind of keep going. I was in a very toxic relationship at that point, like
it was
super
very
toxic. He was very neglective, very narcissistic, very verbally abusive. He never got physically abusive.
It was
with
a piece
me.
of work.
He was
Piece of work.
Let's just say I don't have the best taste in men, but it's fine.
But yeah, no, I could see that he was starting to eat away at your identity, and I could see you going down the path that I was already further on.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, during our talks, I mean, I think one thing you had said when we were talking about today was confidence. Mm-hmm. And I would say back then you were hype girl mode, you were confident, but it was like almost like a facade of confidence.
It was for sure a fake confidence.
It was like fake it till you make it.
Because it was definitely
high.
one of those like, okay, she needs somebody, so I have to be there for her. And so I put on like this hyping other people up kind of made me feel better about myself. Like, instead of, you know how like bullies drag people down because they like their life sucks or whatever. Yeah. I'm like the complete opposite. If my life sucks, I'm gonna go out and like hype somebody up. I'm such a girl's girl, it's not even funny. And so like for me, like being there and helping you and getting you out of your slump, it was kind of pulling me back. But at the same time, with me staying with him at the same time that me and you, I was trying to pull you out, it was like kind of like when magnets kind of that force right there. So I definitely would say that my confidence was definitely fake at that point. It was definitely a fake it till you make it.
I would say that did somewhat change though, because when that first day we were talking, that first day we met and we were hanging out that whole day talking, for some reason the gym came up. I think I was talking about how I didn't like how I looked, and I didn't like my weight, and I felt ugly.
I got so mad. And that's one thing that I think is so funny is like if you go back to listening to like season 1 or even the start of season 2, I sit there and there's an episode where I'm like, would you talk to your best friend like that? Like, no, you wouldn't. You wouldn't sit there and look at your best friend and go, damn girl, like, you need some help. You're kind of gaining. Like, you wouldn't sit there and talk. You wouldn't do that to your best friend.
And I was doing that to myself.
And so
and
when you were
like,
doing that to
no.
yourself, I was like, okay, let's fix the fucking problem. Like, do you want to go to the gym? I'll get a gym membership. Like, do you need somebody to go with you? And so we started doing that. We did that for about a couple months.
Oh, well, I mean,
until I couldn't pay for it.
Well, neither. I mean, I ended up moving back home after a week and everything.
But we still stayed pretty consistent with it.
Oh yeah, no, I think that was like a way for us to release all the frustration that we were having.
Yeah, because I wasn't in sports anymore. In high school, I had that release where I did softball and volleyball, and so I had that like anger management at that point. And I was drowning so much that I needed to get out of that house, and I just couldn't because I didn't want to leave him. And most of that relationship ended up turning into pride, especially after he proposed to me on my birthday, by the way. But, so yeah, it was definitely one of those, I needed to get out. And so the gym was like an escape, and it was really fun.
It helped both of us. Really.
I love the way I hate the way we met, but I love the way we met.
We hate the reason that we met, but we love how it turned into something like this.
Yeah, sorry, my dog's on me. Can you get off of me? It's kind of hot.
He said, no, I want pets.
He does. If y'all hear him barking, he's very talkative sometimes. Besides my confidence, what's one thing that you've seen me grow in?
Maturity. I was like, you're getting, I mean, it's been a couple years. When I first met you, you had just turned 20. Oh, there's the dog.
Go inside and get some water. The door's open. He's like, well, Mom, you're outside. Okay, anyways, but yeah, so my maturity. Sorry, my dog distracted me and I have ADHD. It's like bad.
Oh, you're good. So, no, when I first met you, you were like just turned 20. And I was, 23? 24? 23?
I'm 22 and you're 25, so... We did it. We got the math down.
Alrighty, so yeah, I think I was like 23 years old or something at the time, and you were 20. And, I mean, we were younger back then. It was more chaotic, and I had 2 young kids at home. I had a really young one, and coming out of my whole situation and everything, it was a very chaotic, depressing situation.
Yeah.
And you really helped me you helped me find myself again, and helped me see me and not what everybody else was seeing or telling me they saw.
Well, that's one thing that a lot of people struggle with, and I think that it's very important for people to have that support system, even if it is a stranger that you first meet. Like I said earlier, I'm very big on being a girl's girl. Like, that is like, it has its points where I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that because, like, you're still, like, I'm not gonna be a lying girl's girl. Like, I'm gonna hold you accountable for your shit. But at the same time, like, you were going through it, I was young, you were young, and I feel like even as our friendship grew and as I grew older and as you grew older, my awareness and my maturity definitely did, like,
I mean, you went through experiences.
I went through neglect and having a very, very shitty relationship to the point where I wasn't listening to anybody. My pride took in. I was gonna prove to everybody that me and him were gonna get married, so he proposed to me. Like, it was a lot. That one was very.
You were in denial.
That one was a lot, and then to just turn around and have like a full 360 and go into something that was a little bit more like, hey, I'm gonna be 180, well, same thing, but like, hey, I'm gonna be up your ass 24/7 even though you're with friends and texting you and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And to me being like, you're at work, like, stop blowing on my phone.
Right. I mean, like, you've gone through a couple of relationships since we met, and I would say the first one was toxic. It was neglectful. It was just way over at zero. He chose
his video
right?
games and other girls over me.
Right. And then your next relationship, that one was the complete opposite. It was completely controlling, obsessive, possessive, whatever. It was just all up in your face.
Who are you with? Where are you going? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? We had a girls' night.
We had a girls' night.
Plus
he would
Parker.
not leave her alone. Well, yeah, my husband was there.
Girls' night plus your husband. And he wouldn't leave me alone. Like, I got there and he called me and we were on the phone for like an hour.
It wasn't even just that. We went to Cece's first and he was blowing up your phone at Cece's.
He was texting me and I was like, dude, I'm like eating dinner. Like, can you leave me alone? And then we come back and we're like talking and I'm drinking and we're just like having fun and he kept blowing on my phone. And
he knew it was girls' night and still decided to try to take over.
And so I answered and like I was getting to the point where like I wasn't complaining, but I was definitely venting about it because it was like I wasn't used to it. And so it was like, dude, you're kind of like a lot right now. And then me and him eventually talked about it. I ended up moving in with him and his parents. And we're no longer together anymore. But it was just a complete, like, different thing. And then when me and him moved in together, it stopped a little bit, but not enough for me to be like, okay, I have space. And then, oh my God, I want you back. You know what I mean? But I'm also the type of person that, like, I can spend every waking moment with the person I'm with. Like, you're my best fucking friend at that point. Like, you're stuck with me. Sorry, you know. But I also want my girl time. I want my books. Like, play your video games. I don't care. But, like, when I'm like, hey, I want attention, like, don't be doing video games at work to begin with, you know? I mean, yeah, that one didn't do that, but the first one did.
Oh, the first one, yeah.
He literally took his Xbox to work and then would bitch about having to come back and
having to actually do his work.
And that one was. I was working 3 jobs, guys. That one was.
I mean, they were using you as a wallet back then. They were using.
Oh, yeah. And I would say definitely.
I would say a big growth was when you finally hit bottom and you said, I'm done.
And I had to come back home.
And you moved out. Yeah. And you broke up with him. And you called me crying. And you're like, I broke up with him. And I was like, welcome back.
Yeah.
Because you and I had been hanging out when we first met and everything. Well, then he was so mad whenever I moved back in with my husband. And me and my husband started working things out.
The first one, not the second one. The first one was so mad.
Her boyfriend, my only husband, thank you. Yeah. Clarification.
No, the first boyfriend I had, the one that I was living with when we first met, right. He was mad, and my landlord lady was mad, and they were like, oh, you're turning into her, like, blah,
because
blah,
you were
blah,
bettering
because
yourself.
I was bettering myself.
Me and Cody were actually trying to help each other and pull ourselves out of the rut that we were in, trying to better ourselves. And they were mad that they were losing the control over you that they had. They couldn't use you for your money anymore.
Yeah. And I think it's, like, really funny seeing how people, like, just switch in a snap. Like, it's because I won't do that. Like, I'm not the type of person that's just like, oh, well, I can't use you for what you were giving me in the first place, so fuck you know what I mean? I'm the type of person that's like, okay, how can I help?
Right.
Like, you helped me, it's my turn to help you, so how can I help?
Right.
And that's not how I surround myself with some pretty bad people sometimes. But that's not how the people I've surrounded myself in the past with have treated me. And so after this past relationship, I had to come back home. I literally... me and him got into an argument and I started packing my shit and I was like, I'm done. Like, I'm in love with you. And he was the first one, like, I genuinely felt like I was in love with So the first one, we were engaged, and then we broke up because he decided to cheat on me and get in my face and blah, blah, blah. Okay? I'll explain that. Completely different episode. The second one, he was a good boyfriend. He just needed some help on some things. And... man-child. Literally. And I had to come home. So when me and him broke up, he told me he wasn't in love with me, which shattered me because I genuinely was like head over heels for this guy. And so then I came home, but we got into an argument, and I started packing my shit while he was at work, and I was talking to his mom because me and her also got into an argument. And I was like, I'm not apologizing for what I said, but I'll apologize for how I said it because I was mad and I shouldn't have taken my anger out on you, but everything I said was true, you know what I mean? And she was like, well, thank you for apologizing. And I was like, you're welcome. And like, then she apologized to me or whatever. And then I started packing my stuff. And she was like, are you seriously packing while he's at work? And I was like, yeah. And she goes, well, are y'all going to talk? And I was like, yeah, when he gets home, we're going to talk. And she goes, well, if he sees that you have your bags packed. And I was like, he's going to know anyways. He knows me well enough to know when I'm done. And I was like, but we're still going to talk. Like, he needs to know why I'm leaving. He needs to know that if he wants to work this out, then I have to go home. Like, that's something that we have to do. And so he came home from work, or I texted him, I think, is what I did, is I texted him. And I was like, you can't just keep ignoring me, because he was ignoring my text messages. I was like, you can't just keep ignoring me. Like, we have to talk about this. And he goes, I know, but you're not going to like what I have to say. And I was like, well, you're not going to like what I have to say either. So, like,
it's a hard conversation.
It's a hard conversation, but we're adults. We got to act like it, like communication. And so he comes home, and we're all standing in the driveway, and I was like, okay, you ready to go talk? And he's looking at me like, right now? Yeah, right now. Like, you don't have time to breathe. Like, we got to get this done. And so we go into the backyard, and it's just me and him, and he's starting to cry, and I'm starting to cry because it's a tough conversation. It was probably the hardest conversation I've ever had to have. And I was like, I feel like you're not in love with me, and I'm in love with you, and like the love's just not mutual. Like, you love me, but you're not in love with me. You care for me, but you're not in love with me. You know what I mean? I was like, and that's different because I love my friends and I care for my friends, but I'm not in love with my friends. And so I was like explaining that to him, and he told me, he was like, I'm just not in love with you. And I think that hurt more than physically getting rejected by somebody, because I was like, you proposed, like, you put a ring on my finger, and you want to sit, and you promised my uncle that you take care of me, and then you want to sit here and just flip a switch. And so that backfired, and then we came back together 2 months after the breakup.
She was just cheating at that time.
Yeah, we came back together 2 months after the breakup and stayed together for like a week, but I got the closure that I needed, so that was good for my behalf. I think it's so funny though, because his parents still talk about me. They're like, bro, you like fumbled the bag. Okay. But
I mean, you really grew. You really grew from when I first met you, from that relationship to this other one. It's like you had to, it was almost like you had to experience both extremes to know that you wanted the middle.
Oh,
but
yeah,
you had to experience that for yourself before you were accepted that.
Yeah, and that's one thing that this whole, like, journey that I'm going on has helped me realize is, like, the reflection that I have to do on everything that I did is, like, okay, so I extremed complete neglect and begging for somebody's attention to not having to beg for somebody's attention, but being suffocated by it. Even though I was in love with him, it was getting to the point where I couldn't breathe. To knowing that, okay, I want somebody who's gonna be up my ass, but when I go, pause, I need a break, I'm gonna go hang out with my friends.
They're gonna respect your space.
They're gonna respect my space. And, like, I'm not saying don't text me and be like, hey, I'm thinking about you, like, just wanted to see if you're okay, blah, 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 but don't, like, completely, yeah. Especially if I'm like, hey, I'm having a girls' night.
Respect girls' night.
Yeah.
If it was guys' night, you would want me to respect guys' night.
You wouldn't want me being like, oh my God, baby, blah, 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 like, and just, like, blowing up your phone. Oh, yeah. We would get into an argument, like, blowing it way out of proportion. But it's definitely one of those things that's like, okay, cool, like, now I kind of know what I want. I have that baseline.
And that's, I would say, is definitely part of maturing, getting older, but also the fact that you went through those experiences, they helped you to mature.
Yeah, I wouldn't change anything about my past. I want to say anything, but I want to change any of the lessons that
Like
I
you
learned.
them.
Yeah.
Maybe how you learned them, but.
I mean, I definitely didn't learn them enough, clearly, because I kind of went back, but it's fine.
Hey, but the fact that you can see that, though, means you can see it, you recognize that. I mean, you were telling me you did a lot of self-reflection over the past, and before you started this podcast.
We'll get into that here in a little bit. What is one thing that you think a lot of people misunderstand about confidence?
There's different kinds of confidence.
Oh, 100%. Like, there's facade confidence. There's deep, like, rooted confidence.
There's the fake it till you make it confidence, which is, again, the facade. But, I mean, there's, the sports confidence.
How did I miss my sports confidence?
There's, I know I got this, and then there's...
And then there's conceit. Like, yes. So I did an episode where confidence and conceit, it's called confidence versus conceit, a very fine line. And... in high school, I stepped on that line, 30 feet, crossed that line, tap danced all over it. Like, I was all over the place. And my uncle had to call me out on my shit. Like, after high school, I kind of was still in that, like, little trying to figure out who the fuck I am, whatever. But I was still, like, full of myself. And I was like, oh, like, I'm a boss-ass bitch, blah, 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 blah. But it was, like, toxicity, almost. And he was like, okay, you're being a little absorbed and conceited. I need you to...
tone it back a little bit.
Clock your shit. And so he clocks me hard too, because I was like, ew, I'm not talking to you for the rest of my life. And then now we're best friends. But yeah, so like there's definitely a lot of different confidences. Guys, leave a comment if we missed any like confidences you think.
We probably did, but
I mean,
drop a comment, let us know.
Like let us know if you've experienced like sport confidence, facade confidence, rooted confidence.
I mean, some people are born with a certain kind of confidence, but it's also kind of like how you were raised. If you were raised with that support system,
into confidence. You don't just you don't just automatically like I said at the beginning. You don't just automatically wake up and go, damn, like I'm confident now, blah blah blah. I have no insecurities. Like that's not a thing.
No. I would say whenever somebody says they were born with the confidence, or somebody or that person was born with confidence, I think it's more of they were raised to be confident in themselves.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. My stepmom.
Or they're just dicks, but
no, for real. But like my stepmom, she's probably one of the most confident, outstanding people I know, and she's 2 years cancer free now, which I think is awesome. But even like. She taught me how to love my body the way that my body is right now. Like, she taught me that being a bigger person isn't a struggle. Like, it's not, do I have to work harder to get what I want? Sure. Like, if I want a guy, I mean, I don't have...
Put in the work.
The looks, but I have to, like, do... like, I'm not a supermodel, but I can still, like, do what I need to do. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so she definitely helped with that. A lot of women in my life are super confident, super, like, boss-ass bitches. I love them. And so it's really cool growing up into that, because that's where my confidence truly started. But I didn't understand the difference between confidence and conceit, and that's where that kind of...
I mean, that's part of, I think, just growing in general. Because, I mean, what's that scientific whatchamacallit where, the women mature around, 23 to 25 or whatever, and then the guys are like
10 years later or something, 10 or 20 years later.
And they're like, by their 30s, they're kind of starting to get it together.
And y'all can like Google that. Like, literally, y'all can pull it up, fact check us, but we checked it yesterday, and it was 23 to 25 is when women's frontal lobes completely develop, and I think either 32 to 35 or 42 to 45 is when men's develop fully.
It was after, I know that much. But I can feel it,
Yeah. It was kind of like a veil, like a curtain, just kind of...
garage door going up, like, oh, I see the light.
No, there's sunshine out here.
I mean, part of that, okay, for me, I'm going to be 26 this year. I'm going to be 26 this year. And for me, I'm coming out of that baby fog because I have 2 kids, right?
Yeah, so and I know the first one, and then
for me, I'm going into, my brain is more fully developed, whatever, because I'm getting into that age where scientifically it's supposed to be. Yeah. But outside of that, as a mom... for me, so my daughter is going to be 7 this year. My other one's going to be 4 this year. But whenever you have a kid, you have that, you get the pregnancy fog, and then you get the baby fog, which is afterward. And that baby fog really doesn't go away until they get around 6 years old. So I have 2 kids. So I'm coming out of the first fog. I still got another few years to go before I'm out of the second fog.
Right.
But I can feel it lifting because I've been able to get more done. So, I mean... I'm coming out of the one fog, I got the other one to go, and I can feel it though, because I've been able to get more done. I've been able to, I don't know, I feel more centered, more grounded. And I would say that's also age and the fact that I have you and a few others for friends that are really helping me stay, now that I have myself again, right? That I have my identity back. I can see myself in the mirror and go, I am me, you know? You guys have really helped bring that out for me. And now I have a support system that I didn't have before. Whenever I met you, that was beginning of a true support system.
Yeah.
And now I did have one. It was just 2 people. And now I have 3, you know? Like,
sometimes that's all you need. Like, you don't need, like...
Right.
I understand that it takes a village to, like, raise a kid, and I get that. And sometimes it takes a village to raise an adult, too. Because sometimes we all need, like, adults or adults.
Support system.
But it doesn't take... Like, even if I had just one person supporting me, I'd still be like, yeah, I can't, like, let this person down, let alone let myself down, so let's, like, kick it into gear,
kick it
into gear and, like, get my head out of my ass and jump on it. And so, one of the things I learned that helps me the most is I flirt with myself in the mirror.
That's way to get confidence.
It's like the weirdest thing.
At
first it's like super weird. So I was like, I'm not like gonna flirt with myself. That's fucking weird. Like talking to myself. And I was like, okay, start with like daily affirmations. Start with like a, hey, you're beautiful today. Like you're good. Like, and just do it then. Now I like get ready for work and I'm like looking at myself and I'm like, hey, sexy, how you doing? Like, and I'm sitting there and like getting into it. Will I flirt with a guy like that? Absolutely fucking not. Like, no.
It's hyping yourself up.
I can literally like, okay, embarrassing story real quick. Sorry guys, but like side quest, embarrassing story. So me and my uncle were door dashing in Texas, and we were over by a college, and these guys were walking. And one thing that me and my uncle do. Sorry, I'm laughing too much because this is just like, I get secondhand embarrassment just thinking about it because I embarrassed myself the first time. But these group of college boys were walking and one of them had their shirt off and he was fine. Like, I was like, dang. Like, I wasn't blushing yet or anything. And so I yelled, hey, like, I yelled, hey, daddy. And, they kept walking, and I was like, okay, like, we're just going to drive past them. They're not going in the same way. Well, we hit a red light. And they were still walking. So I said red light. One of them, it was a group of 3, and one of them, the taller one, he was like, hey, mommy. And I, like, froze completely. I looked at my uncle and was like, oh, shit. Like, I started panicking.
They matched you.
He did, and I was not expecting it. And my uncle was like, go get a Snapchat. Like, we're at a red light. Go, like, we didn't have the doors on the Jeep at all either, so I could have just, like, hopped out and then hopped back in. And he was like, go get a Snapchat. And I was like, are you crazy? Like, drive. Like, no, this is not happening. And we're still at the red light, and I'm just, like, avoiding eye contact.
The fact that your uncle was like, do it.
Yeah, he's such my height. Like, he's such a good wingman. It's so funny. But he was like, girl, and then we passed them 3 other times. And I was like, universe, you hate me. And I'm like over here like melting into my seat.
It was a sign.
I was like, I can't like hide behind a door because we didn't have the doors on the Jeep. And so that was like really funny. And so anytime like I talk about how I flirted with a guy, he's like, oh, you didn't run away this time? No, I didn't run away.
I called you out on that one.
So, like, definitely me flirting with myself is 100% different than me flirting with the guy, especially if I like you. And, like, if you match my energy,
Speaking of matching energy.
Oh, shit.
We have a couple nicknames.
Oh, we do?
So, this gets into a few different topics. We will try to go through them one at a time and hopefully not combine them all into one thing, which we probably will.
Let me start with mine or yours?
I'll start with yours. You have the backstory to go with it.
Oh, I do have the backstory to go with it. Okay, so...
Oh, that's a vehicle.
Sorry,
we're recording outside.
Yeah, we're outside and they're doing construction down the road. So...
I'm going to let you do your nickname first.
Okay, so... my nickname is Lighter Fluid. And we'll go into a backstory with this other podcast that we're going to be recording called Chaos Queens and Sisters Forever. But just like a brief little backstory, my childhood friend's dad called me and pretty much told me that I'm lighter fluid because instead of starting shit, I like adding to the fuel.
I mean, the other way to look at it is, you know how everybody has in their head that voice telling them, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. No. She has a raccoon in her head going, do it.
Light it on fire!
Yeah, that's what we call her lighter fluid. I am TNT. I'm just, an explosion waiting to happen. Yay.
She's chilling. And then our other friend.
Our other friend
is Drone.
We call her Drone because you don't fuck with her. You don't.
Like, if I say, I'm calling for backup.
Like, you know how they're like, I can't get you, but my friend's here.
That meme or that like voiceover, I don't even know what it's from, to be honest. I just hear it on TikTok all the time. Mm-hmm. And he's like, fellas, can we just, like, get along? And they're like, what, are you going to kill us? I can't, but my friend can.
Say hi, friend.
Say hi, friend. Hi.
Yeah, that would be...
That's Drone, for sure.
That would be her, yes.
Like, when I say, I'm calling for backup,
she's the backup.
It's friend.
Yes.
And that's all I need. I just need...
And we'll talk about her more in the
in the next
later.
In the other podcast.
But yeah, so because of all of this and our friendship and everything, we decided that we were going to make another podcast.
Especially since we can talk for like hours and hours and hours.
Oh, yeah.
And we definitely got off topic, but that's fine. Because that's kind of like our thing.
But this is where we can go off topic and you guys can get more into depth in our daily life.
Oh, and we're going to have a Patreon. I'll make sure to put that out there. I have a Patreon for the Laughing Through It podcast. It's literally just Laughing Through It on Patreon. And then we'll make a Patreon for the Chaos Queens and Sisters Forever and stuff like that. So y'all can definitely go and see behind the scenes and the bloopers and videos and stuff. It's going to be so much fun. Like, I'm super excited about it. But back to this. I thought I was falling. Sorry. Back to this podcast. Why do you think people struggle asking for help?
Well, for one, I would say their experiences with asking for help before. For me, personally, when growing up, I was in this is like the best example I can give. I lived in a really small town in a different state. It was a really small church school. And it was like one room had all the grades. And I would ask for help. And I would not get the help at all because they were busy helping everybody else or teaching another class or doing something else. Because it was a one-room school, basically, with one teacher for like 3 or 4 grades. And so I just never got help. And I learned, okay, don't ask for help. And then they'd be like, well, why are you so behind? Why aren't you doing your work? Well, because I asked for help 3 days ago, and I never got it,
And it's been 3 days.
I mean, there was one particular, it was 6 hours before I got help on one freaking math question. I'm not even lying. It was 6 hours. I counted, and I will never forget.
That's a road trip.
I did all of my other schoolwork for that day, and then she's like, you still haven't gotten your math done? I was like, you didn't help me when I asked you at 9 a.m. I was like, it's like 2 o'clock now. So, yeah.
Like, no, my math isn't done. I don't understand it.
I was like, yeah, I need help. So, yeah, no, I would say that asking for help and then not getting it, or whenever you do, or another one, it could be asking for help and then being told, why can't you get it done?
Making you feel stupid about it, yeah.
Making you feel stupid about it.
And I think that's one thing that I'm learning, like, as I get older, too, is asking for help is not necessarily a problem. Like, you can ask for help as long as you have those people. I also write songs, and a couple of songs that I've written is Anchor, Deeply Rooted. They're all on Suno and on YouTube, on my personal YouTube channel, and then on SoundCloud, but that's besides the point, not me promoting myself. Anyways, but one of the lyrics that sticks with me the most is, my friends call me when they need me, but I call no one when I need help. And I was writing that literally a couple days ago. I was talking to one of my friends, and his dad was going through a heart procedure, and he was worried because his dad's health isn't the greatest, and they had to literally put him under and then shock his heart, like pretty much kill him and then bring him back to life. And so he was like panicking and was like, oh my God, like, what if he doesn't make it, and all that stuff. And so he was like confiding in me. So I took his pain and my pain of losing my mom at such a young age, and then like realizing that I never really asked for help, and kind of just turned it into a song because feelings. But and so
songs can be therapy.
Oh,
they
100%.
Really I know for me what it was. I had sworn growing up I would never journal.
Yeah.
Because when I did journal, it was used against me. My mom, would try to tell me, you know, it's okay, you can journal, I'm not going to read it, I'm not going to do this. But then, like, the second I would vent in my journal and say what was actually in my head, oh, I was this horrible person, and it was a whole thing.
And, like, she brings it up, like, wait, how do you know that? Like, I didn't tell that to you and stuff like that. And so, like, I understand that part. And so, like, you write songs, and that's probably one of the things
that is my only version of journaling.
Yeah, and so
music.
Her songs are, like, probably my favorite. Like, I'm not saying that because you're my best friend. I'm legitimately, like, I literally have, like, your playlist, and it's on my Apple Music, my Spotify, my SoundCloud, my, like, anything, my YouTube Music, anything I have, like...
I have about 25 songs
music
now.
And, yeah, and that's, like, insane. Like, I'm super proud of you for that. Like,
I think the last time the first time I was a guest on your podcast, I only had about 15 maybe. So I've done like 10 songs since then.
Yeah. And I feel like definitely for sure we kind of, like, the first time you were on my podcast, I totally, like, forgot to promote you, so sorry about that.
No, you're good.
But she's anywhere you listen to music, guys. Her name's Lori Mallory.
Yeah, we'll put the link or whatever down there.
I'll try to figure out how to link everything and stuff like that. But I feel like that asking for help definitely is something that you learn as you get older, and
experiences teach you.
It also comes from, like, I lost my mom at a young age, and I didn't understand it, and so as I got older, it was like the grief hit, and I was trying to understand everything, and I could process it, and so it's like it hit. It's like she died twice. You know what I mean? And so it's definitely, I stopped asking for help after I lost my mom, and me and my parents don't have the best relationship, and so I don't really ask them for anything. And then, like, my family, I try not to ask them for anything because I'm so used to being used that it's not one of those things that just I learned how to do. It's one of those things that I'm genuinely, like, forcing myself to do. Like, if I need help, it's not like, okay, figure it out. It's like, okay, you're, like, to the point where you can't, you're about to break, ask for some help, do something. But anyway, so, like, asking for help, it definitely is kind of like a struggle sometimes. But at the same time, growing up, you kind of learn how to ask for help. So that's always fun. But going back to relationships and, like, just in general, like, friendships, regular relationships, family relationships, kind of anything. What's the difference between wanting attention and wanting connection?
I would say the difference between wanting to have a connection and settling for attention would be, I mean, the fact that I would say it's more just kind of like our generation, maybe, or just our time, that we live in.
Yeah, I feel like social media plays a big part in,
right,
like, the attention versus the connection.
And we've been like desensitized or like conditioned to think a certain way.
Yeah,
and it's rare. You know, what we consider, that real good old love, it's old.
Yeah.
We see it as something, from like our grandparents' generation.
Or like our great-grandparents.
Like
that.
Or something like that. And it's rare. And it was kind of like we see it as dying out in our parents' time,
Yeah, and we had this conversation yesterday because this was like our 5th time recording. That's an exaggeration, but bear with me. And you said that once you gave up on love, that's kind of like when you found your husband. And
oh, yeah.
That's,
like when you stop
that's what
for
a
it,
lot
that's
of people have told me is, like, once you stop looking for it, it just comes, like, knocking. And so I'm like, I don't want that to happen. Like, I don't want to be like, okay, I'm fucking done, and then all of a sudden, oh my god, I'm in love.
I mean, you don't want to swear completely off.
Yeah,
but
like, I mean,
at the same time,
and like one of my favorite couples are my uncles, him and his husband. They're literally my best fucking friends, and they told me the same thing. Like, they swear off. They were swearing off, like, dating and stuff, and then they decided to text each other, and now they've been together for 5 years and been married for 3. So
I mean, for me, I was in high school when I met my husband. We're high school sweethearts. We've been together for about 8 years now.
Must be nice. No, I'm just kidding.
Anyway, but for us, it was, I was like, I'm not going to date. I'm going to finish high school. I have to do 2 years in one because I fucked around my junior year, so I got to do my junior and senior year.
She fucked around and found out real quick.
So what ended up happening was, I was like, I'm not going to date. I'm not going to be looking for dating. I'm going to focus on school. That is why I'm here. I'm going to do that. Mm-hmm. Well, that lasted for about 2 seconds.
Yeah, I bet that did.
Here's what happened. I walk in to the cafeteria that, like, we all would gather there first thing in the morning before we'd all, go to classes and whatnot. And the school counselor walks in. She's like, hey, everybody, this is Lori. And I'm standing there and I'm going, oh, shit. So anyway, when I walked in the room, she introduces me. The second I walked in, my eyes zeroed in on my future husband. I didn't know we were going to be married at all. I was just like, oh, he's cute. No, I do not want to sit next to him. I do not want to sit anywhere near him because he's the hottest guy in the room to me. And I was like, I do not want to be anywhere near him because I said I'm not dating anybody. I don't want to get to know him. I don't want to even meet him. And the school counselor goes, oh, sit next to Parker. And I was like, God damn it.
Fuck you.
He went and got me a chair. He was like, here you go. And I was like, damn it.
When things were nice. No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, oh, shit. And the rest is kind of history. We ended up dating like a couple months later. We headed off that day. We just kind of became friends. And we've been together ever since.
Kind of became friends.
Yeah, we became
and then
friends.
we decided to have kids. Just kidding. They were not planned. No. I'm totally kidding.
But yeah, it finds you when you're not looking for it.
And I feel like, and that's fine, but at the same time, I'm the type of person that just loves love. Like, you've seen me watch romance movies with you, rom-coms, and I'm just like, are they gonna kiss? Are they gonna kiss? And then I like shriek because they kiss, and like, I love love. That's like one of my favorite things about me. Such a girl. I mean, fuck. And I was even talking to my uncles last night about it, and my uncle was like, well, that's the thing, like, watching you mature, and even in your relationships is really cool because you were such a Disney kid that you thought that it's finding your... But anyways, but like I was a Disney kid, and so like I grew up with like Cinderella, like losing her slipper and finding her true love and getting married, and the rest is history. You know, like you don't see the bad in Disney movies. And so
unless there's all the parents missing in the movie.
Yeah, unless your mom dies and they're like, I'm a princess. Like, oh literally, my mom, oh my God, this is going to sound so morbid, and I do not mean for it to sound as morbid as it's going to sound. But like I said, I get through life through humor. So bear with me because I do have dark humor.
Let's go.
But my mom died and I went, I'm a princess. Cinderella.
Oh my gosh, just like all the Disney princesses.
Literally, and my parents, like not my parents, but my grandparents looked at me like, are you okay?
No, I'm not.
No, my mom died and I don't know how to process it. I just know that Cinderella's mom died and then her dad died and she was stuck with an evil stepmom, and so I kind of went in thinking that my stepmom was going to be horrible, and she wasn't. She's actually cool and I love her. She's amazing.
If you think about it, I think almost every Disney movie has a parent that's not there.
Every Disney movie.
And I'm like, okay, was something wrong with Walt Disney?
Besides
like,
Sleeping
did he
Beauty,
not have his parents?
Besides Sleeping Beauty, because Sleeping Beauty just had to get taken out of the castle, and then she ended up coming back because Maleficent's curse.
Well, yeah, true.
So she had her dad, and yeah, she just kind of...
But I mean, at the same time, when you think about it, was Walt Disney okay? Did he just not have... He had parent trauma, and this is his like, therapy. Every movie we make has to have no parents.
I mean, even Lion King, like freaking Simba, like loses Mufasa, and... Mufasa. Sorry. Vocal stems are stemming today.
Can you tell me if ADHD and the caffeine kicked in?
So, like, it's definitely one of those type deals.
Getting back to the point, sorry.
But yeah, so like we were talking about how like my love has changed and like how I matured, and I learned that it's not just all kiss me awake and true love's kiss exist and stuff like that. And so he said it was really cool watching that aspect of it. I mean, he's known me my whole life, so like he's literally seen me go from Disney to where I am now, and so he said that was really cool, and that he's glad that I have a friend who can like see it, even though hasn't been here my whole life and stuff like that. We kind of already covered this topic, but why do people settle for attention?
I mean, because that's all they got. That's all they can see. Yeah, they don't. I think it also comes down to also having that self-confidence. You don't think you're worth having that deep, true-rooted, grounded love.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I definitely agree with that because, like, I didn't think I was worth it until I started getting my, like, rooted confidence. And so it turned into one of those, like, no, I'm not going to settle for what I settled for in the past. Like, if you want me, prove it. If you want... Like, if I have to prove to you what I can bring to the table, then you have to prove to me what you can bring to the table, because this is a this is a partnership, not a dictatorship. I'm not going to use you for your money. You're not going to use me for mine. And like, your money's your money, my money's my money, and then our money goes to the bills. Like, it's not a 50-50, it's 100-100, or like 60-40, or 30-70, or 100 to 9, like 1,
Yeah,
or 99.
you can't have one person fighting for the marriage or relationship or whatever it is. You need to. It's a partnership. It's
definitely
effort.
draining. Yeah, it's draining to have just one person like focus solely on their relationship and the other person.
And I think a lot of people just don't. They want that, but they don't want the effort that it takes to actually go.
Yeah, they're like, oh, so you're here, I have you, now I'm not going to chase you.
The other part of that is women eventually go, I am so used to doing it alone, and I just want the emotional.
Like, I don't need your money, person. I just need you. Like,
right,
at that point,
I want that safe person, I want that emotional connection, and guys just want to fuck. And you're like, I'm not looking for that.
No, literally, like, even, like, dating in this generation right now, like, I've had so many people just go, like, snap me and go, you want to fuck? No.
Yeah, it's like, no.
Well, why not? Well, first off, you don't know who the fuck I am, so why would you start that conversation like that? And secondly, no, like, that's not what I want.
Yeah, and I want attention for, like, a second, but you don't want that connection.
And, like, I was talking to my uncles about that, too, and I was like, you know, it's so funny because, like, I used to, coming out of high school, coming out of my very first, like, serious relationship before Danny, I did that. I had one night stands. I did the not getting home till past midnight because I was staying at some stranger's house. Like, I did the adrenaline rush for the one night stands and all that stuff. And getting older, I'm just like, yeah, I don't want that. Like, can I go out and fuck somebody? Sure. Do I have a list of people, like, lining up for it? Yeah. But I don't care for it, if that makes sense. Like, I'd rather spend time with my friends and figure out who the fuck I am as a person rather than losing myself just because I want that attention.
You fucked around, found out what you wanted.
Yeah.
And now you're like, okay.
And that brings me to my next question, like, what do healthy relationships actually look like? And I'm not saying, like, everybody's healthy relationship is the same. Like, for me, I had to sit down and write a pros and cons list, and I had a base going from two completely drastic different relationships. I know what I don't want, which is being neglected and having somebody choose, like, their games and their friends and stuff like that over me, to also not wanting somebody so overbearing I can't breathe. We changed... But yeah, so I had to sit there and write a pros and cons list and, like, go from the base of what I want and what I didn't want. And so it definitely changed my perspective and, like, everything, not just dating, but in life and for myself too. Like, I had to sit there and reflect on my red flags and on who I wanted to be as a person and who I wanted to be, like, potentially as a wife and stuff like that.
I mean, and it took you going from who you were to the past relationships and everything else to who you are now to put that all into perspective.
Oh yeah, and, like, it's weird because I was talking to my uncle about it, and I was like, if you think about it, I started dating at 15 years old, and from 15 to 22, I learned a lot, and to me, that's not like a lot of life that I lived, and yet I, like, learned a lot of lessons just in that time.
Yeah.
And so it's really cool, like, seeing that happen, not just with, like, friendships, but relationships and family and all the things like that. But out of that, what's something I do that drives you crazy?
That's a list.
You're a bitch.
Oh, and you love it. It's okay.
Naturally. But, like, if you had to, like, choose one thing specifically, what would it be?
What drives you crazy in a good way would be your love to keep up with me and caffeine and everything else. We can talk for hours. We can watch the same stuff. We like the same music. It's great. Your energy is infectious.
Yeah. Is that, like, a bad thing, though? Like, do you like it, or is it, like, aggravating sometimes?
I would say honestly, it helps. It drives me crazy in a good way.
Okay, so what's one thing about me that drives you crazy in a bad way?
I don't have one.
That's so funny because me and Josh were literally talking about red flags. But me and Josh were talking about it yesterday, and I was like, and he goes, well, I was like, what are my red flags? Or he goes, what are my red flags? And I was like, I don't really know you well enough. I was like, I don't really know you well enough to, like, have a list of red flags, because anytime we talk, it's not, like, not. But yeah, so, like, me and him were talking about it last night about how, like, I don't know him well enough to, like, sit there and list out red flags. And I was like, well, what about me? What are my red flags? And he was like, kind of the same. Like, I don't know you well enough for your red flags. And I was like, oh, brother. And so, I guess, like, my next question is, like, what red flags, like, from the years that we've known each other, have you noticed in me?
Denial.
100%, yeah.
I told you, and I learned this. I was like, okay, if I tell her, she's just not going to... She doesn't want to listen whenever I'm telling her, hey, that person is toxic as fuck.
I don't really think it's denial. I definitely think it's my pride, though. Like, I could be very prideful.
I think it's both.
To the
because
point.
At that point, you were in denial.
I didn't want to listen to anybody.
And part of your
didn't.
pride, but I think pride and denial go hand in hand on this.
Oh,
one.
100%.
So whenever you got with your next boyfriend, and it was the complete opposite of the first one, it was still another form of toxic, and I was over here like, here we go again.
I want to say something, but I'm just gonna like withdraw from this friendship for a second.
Yeah, I was like, I'll be here when you're ready to come back.
Yeah, and like, and I think that's like important about the support and like going back at it and just having that person and stuff like that.
I'll be here if you want to talk and everything, but like until you can focus on having a friendship, because right at that point your entire focus was on your relationship,
and
there was no room for the friendship.
That's one thing that I noticed too, is like it was sitting there reflecting, like once I get in a relationship, I'm like all balls to the wall, you know, like I'm pedal to the metal, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just
hello,
there.
I'm still here.
And like all my friends are like, bro, you disappear, and I'm like, no, I know.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh yeah, well maybe I do.
I think that would be the only negative thing I would say. Is that
it's like my denial, my pridefulness.
You zero in on that.
Yeah.
You hyper focus on that.
Literally, and so that's one thing that I'm working on for sure. Do you have any embarrassing Cody stories?
The first time, it was like the first 2 days, 3 days after I met you. We were watching we're trying to watch the first episode of the DC show Arrow, and we were eating popcorn.
I forgot about this. Oh my god, I forgot about this.
I pretty much almost killed her eating popcorn because she laughed so hard. She didn't expect this one part of the episode, and she
choked on popcorn. I choked on a popcorn kernel.
Yeah, she pretty much died on a popcorn kernel. It was hilarious as hell. That would be like one of the...
But anyways, continue. Sorry.
I would say that was one of the most funny things.
I feel like
that was the first funny, like that was, we laughed about other stuff all throughout that time when we were talking first week, but that was like the one thing that stuck in my head. I
definitely almost, like completely almost died.
You were laughing so freaking hard.
I feel like, and that's what started
eating popcorn, literally watching a movie.
And I feel like that's what started you being like, oh my god, I have something to show you, and like just watching me watch shows that I've never seen before.
I love your reactions.
And we're watching, oh shit, we're watching so much. We're watching The Way Home right now, and there's so much like love interest in it that I'm just like, are they gonna kiss? Are they gonna kiss? Does he come back? And I'm like asking all these questions, and like when they kiss, I'm like shrieking and like pretty much jumping up and down. But that just goes back to the fact that like I love love, and so like the thought of me just having to be like, I don't want it right now is kind of it's difficult.
You don't want the shallow. You want the deep connection.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not that you don't want love. You're not looking. You're letting it come to you.
Yeah, and I feel like that's definitely a mind fuck that I definitely have to like sit there and switch.
Shift.
Yeah. But back to like a deeper section. What do you think people need to hear like right now?
It's gonna happen. Okay, if you're looking for love or whatever, and you're going through that point when you're just searching and searching, take a step back. For one, do some self-reflecting. Say, would I date myself?
Yeah.
And not just, oh, well, I would date myself because anybody would want to date me. Well, that's conceited. Okay, I'm sorry. That's conceited.
Yeah, don't be conceited.
Don't be that.
That's gross.
But look at yourself and go, am I the person that would better somebody else in a relationship? Is this who I want to be, or do I want to grow? Because as you grow, as you self-reflect and everything else, you'll be a better person. And then it will, in a way, attract more people to you.
No, yeah, and like that's what I'm learning. Even though it still kind of grosses me out because I'm not used to it. I get like people that are 20 to 30 years older than me that just come in and they're like hitting on me and stuff like that, and they're like very bold and like blunt, but they're like so straightforward, and it kind of throws me for a loop. And it's not just like, it didn't just happen when my confidence came. It also happened when I was like, you know what, like, I'm worth it. I need to better myself before I can better somebody else. And that's one thing that I think that's part of the reason why I do disappear in relationships, is because I'm so focused on bettering that person and making them see that I'm worth it, that I'm like that person for them, that I just disappear on everybody else because I'm like, okay, this person needs my like sole attention because I want them to be better. And I think that's where a lot of my like ex's parents look at me and they're like, dude, you like fumbled the fucking bag. Like, I don't know how many times, like, from the 3 serious relationships I've had, all of their parents have been like, dude, and I wish I could say that I'm like blowing smoke up somebody's skirt, but like it's not. Like I'm still friends with my first boyfriend's, not Danny's, but Jacob's, when I was in high school. I'm still friends with his mom on Facebook, and she'll text me and she's like, hey, I'm just thinking about you, like I miss you, and we'll sit there and we'll chat. And she told me about his new girlfriend, and I was like, oh, I'm so glad that he moved on, and like we're cool. And will I text him again? No, like I have no contact to him, but at least his mom, like she's pretty chill. And so we're sitting there and we're chatting it up, and she goes, I miss your smile, and you were so good to him, and watching you grow up, even if it's over a screen, like it's really cool seeing you go from an 18-year-old girl to the 22-year-old woman that you are, and I'm very proud of you. And like it's like I had that family, you know, and it wasn't just me like creating a bond with one person, it was me creating a bond with that whole family. So like when we broke up, it was not just tearing us apart, it like faltered the whole family communication,
family dynamic.
Family dynamic. And so his mom like texts me, and then my ex-landlord, she'll text me from here and there and tell me that she misses me. And then like I have connections with siblings. Like my last boyfriend had a sister, and so I'm still friends with his mom, so I can like that's where me and her, like his sister will call me and be like, hey, I really miss you, like I loved having a big sister. And I'm like, as soon as I get my life together and I get a car, I promise we'll have like a girls' day and stuff like that. And so it's really hard, like going from being around somebody 24/7 and being that older sibling and being there for them, since I am the youngest sibling in my family. Like it's really cool seeing the connection happen. When me and my last ex broke up, it was hard. I think it was harder on me for the fact that I was leaving his sister than I was him. Because I loved her.
Another thing would be in our dynamic, you know, our chaos sister group over here, you know, we got Drone, we got TNT, we got Lighter Fluid, we got all of it, all three of us. And in that group, I'm the oldest sibling.
Yeah,
you're the youngest, and Drone's the middle.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm
and
the big
like
sister with the car who gets all of you.
Yeah, and like for sure, my birthday that weekend, that was really fun.
That was crazy.
We're definitely chaos queens, but it was fun having all of us out, and your husband even came. He was our DD, and he had. I hope he had fun. I hope he
got him on the dance floor.
He looked like he was having some fun.
I got him on the dance floor.
She did. I was shocked. That was like the peak of my birthday right there. And then I'm very flirtatious, anyways. But like I'm such a girl's girl that like I can flirt with a girl and then flirt with a guy, but the way I flirt with a girl is more like hyping her up than it is like, hey baby, how you doing? Like, I'm not a dude. Like, I'm not gonna. Like you're so good. There was a group of girls that their birthday was like that day or the same as mine, and they're celebrating that weekend or whatever. And they were like, oh, do you want to join us? And I was like, hell yeah. And I was like, can I buy you a shot? And she was like, yeah, can I buy you a shot? And like, I made friends that night. Do I know who they are? No, but like I still made friends that night, and it was really cool getting to be able to like experience that, even if like we're not lifelong friends. And so, but I had my two best friends with me, and so it was really cool seeing us in action and being able to like have fun. And I think you relaxed a little bit, and
yeah, it was kind of nice not being mom for 1
Joan
second.
Relaxed, and she looked like she was getting ready to cause some trouble.
That was fun. I have it on videos.
And so she was like prepared, man. So it was really cool like seeing that and just being there in the moment and having that dynamic. And your kids, they're my nieces, and so like it's really cool.
They're crazy.
They're insane, but I love them.
You'll hear them in probably any podcast.
And every like snippet of this podcast, you probably hear them. One of them screaming in the background.
Okay, so I'm potty training my youngest right now, and then like in the background, we had to cut it out earlier, but she was like, "Mom,
my poop!"
It was like, oh my gosh.
You know that video of that like toddler trying to do or toddler mom trying to put pants on her toddler, and she's like, pants party, no, put your pants on. That's what your kids remind me of.
Literally,
at least your youngest. And so it's just really cool like seeing all that happen and being there, and like even if like we couldn't be friends anymore, I feel like that'll affect the kids just as much as it would affect us.
I mean, they missed you whenever we took that sabbatical because you were focusing on a relationship, and I just kind of stepped back and let you figure it out. I was like, tough love, you'll figure it out, you'll come back. I was like,
I'll be here, but like, bye.
Yeah. I mean, I was like, you want to text me? Cool. I'm not gonna like actively go, hey, you want to hang out until you have it figured out to where you can hang out.
Yeah.
I'm like, I will be there for you when you call a day or night or whatever, but like I'm also not going to actively be, hey, can we go do another girls' night because the last one was an epic fail. your ex was like terrible.
No, that'd be me. I'd be like,
yeah.
no phones.
Yeah.
Phone basket now.
Yeah, honestly, I thought about it, but then I was like, I don't need him showing up at my door because you didn't answer the phone.
He probably would have too, like, honest.
I was like, yeah, we're not doing that. So, because of all of that, you know, I would say you're one of my best friends. You're my little sister. You will always be with that. And whenever we took that break, my kids were like, where's Auntie Cody? Why can't we see Auntie Cody?
Yeah.
And now it's, Mommy, can we see Auntie Cody and Cowboy?
Yeah.
I mean, during school year, it was, Mom, can you go get Auntie so I can see Cowboy? Because I love your dog.
Yeah, and even when you would have to take me home after you got her from school, she was like, man, I can't hang out with, like, Cody and Cowboy. And
oh, yeah. No,
so it was like, and so it's really cool, like, having that dynamic even with the kids. And, as much as sometimes I'm like, go away, but they're children, so it's okay. But to the closing, I think one of the biggest lessons I've learned and that I'm continuing to learn is that healing doesn't always feel like healing. No. And so having other people hold that mirror for you and go, dude, you're doing good. Like, you
from
look,
where you were to where you are now, you look amazing. A different person.
Yeah, and so sometimes it feels like healing sometimes feels like confusion and being tired, and it feels like taking 2 steps forwards and 1 step back, and then it also but growth is still growth. Like, regardless, you're growing no matter what. Mm-hmm. And then if you're listening to this and you feel stuck, I want you to know something. The version of you that you're trying so hard to become, you're probably already closer than you think. So just know that I'm proud of you. We're proud of you. If you need some support, hit me up on the comments. Hit me up on the DMs. We'll put the Patreon out here. We'll link the next podcast that we're going to be doing, where it's just us just kind of talking about everything and all the things.
I mean, we'll be going into all sorts of things on the other podcasts.
And just comment, like, anything.
Like, comment, share,
follow.
Subscribe. Look at the Patreon.
Like, look up the Patreon. Yeah, if you want to see the videos and the behind the scenes of
we'll be getting those
the
out
crazy.
there.
We'll start doing that and stuff like that. But yeah,
if there's anything you want us to specifically go into, if you want her to go into anything specific, hit her up in the comments. She reads them.
Yeah, and like one of the.
And there's a kid.
But yeah, don't forget to follow and subscribe, and thank you, and subscribe as if I'm on YouTube right now. I mean, I am on YouTube, so go, like, check that. But anyways, back to my point. So thank y'all for listening, and just remember that somebody is proud of you no matter what, and just don't give up on yourself.
You got this.
Just remember that you have people in your corner. Let them hold up the mirror for once so you don't have to sit there and act like you don't know what you're doing. But it's okay not to know what you're doing. Anyways, bye, besties. I'll talk to y'all in the next episode. And no matter what, we're going to keep laughing through it.
Woo!